Hello, I'm Frances from Homestead, and I have a monthly garden update for you. Now, again, I have some good news and bad news. Here in the Pacific Northwest, we are currently experiencing a heat wave. We are getting up into the triple digits for this whole week, and it is forecast to go on for a second week. And we're in June. It's, of course, record-breaking, unprecedented, but that doesn't help my garden. We only managed to be able to save enough water for 3 months. And unfortunately, being a bit of a drought year, because we had no water in March and April and May, and of course June. So we've used up all our water storage. Our black water tanks are both empty. We're hoping enough water in a couple totes for the fruit trees, and we are catching gray water to water the berries and grapes. But sadly, that leaves the vegetables and the flowers kind of out of luck. I mean, I'm able to water them maybe once a week with the little bit of gray water we're catching, but in triple digit heat day after day, that's not enough to keep them alive. As you can see by my squash, in the middle of the day, every single leaf on the squash looks like this. And fortunately, a few of the younger ones come out of it, but they don't all recover in the evening. So I don't know how much longer they'll survive, especially if there's another week of this. Of course, the few brassicas that I planted in February, the cabbage and Brussels sprouts, they're pretty much gone. As you can see, they're drying up fast. There's not much left of them. The green beans and cucumbers are really taking a hit. They look better than anything else probably, but they are not doing great. The tomatoes I planted still look like they're surviving, and I planted basil in between a lot of the tomato plants. I don't know how long that's going to last. I can only water them once or twice a week for maybe a half hour to an hour. So it's probably not enough for triple digit weather day after day, but I will hold out some hope. I do have some very tiny cherry tomatoes starting to come on, and I can only hope that they'll get a chance to ripen. And my peppers are definitely taking a hit. They definitely have some damage. This one plant didn't look like it snapped back during the night. This is how they all look during the day. And my lettuce is done. Fortunately, I got one last harvest of the lettuce before the heat wave hit. And I made a beautiful fruit and nut salad with it. And I'm going to show that to you right now. Now I'm going to do a little harvesting. The first thing I'm going to harvest is the arugula. It's gone to seed and it doesn't look like it's coming back. As you can see, I've already harvested the kale, made me a delicious baby green kale quinoa salad, and hopefully they'll keep producing. But sadly, the arugula just is not making it. It is all gone to seed. So I'm going to pull those up and give them to the chickens because they love the flowers and the pods. Look at there. We got a nice haul of greens for the chickens. Okay, chickens, here you go. I could just watch the chickens all day. Now I have some red leaf lettuce here that I've let go way too long. I cut it about 2 inches above the ground so that it can keep growing. I harvested here last week, and look at how much they've grown back already. So this is a good amount of lettuce, and I'm going to take it inside and clean it up and get it in the fridge so we can make some delicious salad. In this heat, the lettuce can wilt pretty quick. So I want to get it cleaned up and put in the fridge so that it can stay nice and crisp. I just wanted to show you I have a few strawberries we harvested yesterday. They were down at the end of the row. I don't think they're getting enough water. They're pretty tiny. I've been picking and eating the strawberries at the other end of the row as I water or weed. But these ones I hadn't seen. They were a bit smaller. Now when I wash my vegetables, when I first bring them inside, I wash them with a little splash of apple cider vinegar. It's usually about a tablespoon per gallon of water. After they've been rinsed and sorted, I put them into my salad spinner and I give them a good spin before I put them in the fridge. So I just go through and pick out anything that looks a little wilty. All right, the lettuce is all cleaned and sorted. Now I'm going to give it a spin. So I have a bit of lettuce from my last picking still in the fridge, so I'm going to put it on top and put these on the bottom, so this older gets used first. It's still very fresh and crisp. It looks beautiful. I put paper towel on the bottom and on the top for moisture. Now they're ready to go back in the fridge. Now my apple grape walnut salad is delicious. I saw it, I think, on a news cooking segment years and years ago. And we've enjoyed it ever since. We have changed it up a bit though to our liking. I'm going to be having some of this lettuce. I'm going to chop it into some bite-sized pieces. I'm going to chop one apple. and about a half a cup of walnuts. Can't wait till my walnut tree is producing walnuts. And a good bunch of grapes. Let's rinse these off. Oh yeah, those are delicious. Now if they're very large, I'll cut them in half. But these are definitely manageable size for the salad. Now one more thing that goes in here is Swiss cheese. Now originally when I learned about this recipe, they used blue cheese. And at the time, years ago, there was no one in our family that really cared for the strong flavor of the blue cheese in the salad. So we went with the more mild cheese, the Swiss. Since then, I really enjoy blue cheese. But I've gotten very used to the Swiss cheese in this recipe. I love good Swiss cheese. Just dice them up into small squares. I make a fruity vinaigrette, and I have used fresh berries, frozen berries, and berry syrup. And currently, that's what I happen to have, is a berry syrup. So we have always liked a fruity dressing on this fruity salad. So I'm going to do 2 tablespoons of this berry syrup, 2 tablespoons of this red wine vinegar, and 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Then I grind in some fresh ground black pepper and some ground pink Himalayan salt. Probably about 1/4 of a teaspoon. Then I'm just going to beat it up to emulsify it. Now I have made this many different ways. I've used honey with fresh berries or frozen berries. There's lots of ways you can do this. Now I'm just going to toss it. That is so beautiful. So, like I said in a previous episode, something new every day. That's my update. It's not all roses, that's for sure. Thank you for joining me on this journey. I'm so grateful for you. Until we meet again.